Here's a week of dinners I made for my family, trying to have a low spend month and use up food we already have. I love a yellow sticker deal, especially with meat, but I have a habit of buying them then forgetting to actually eat them. I made these burgers with these olive oil burger buns I made a few weeks ago and raided my fridge for as many pickles and homemade sauces that I'd made back in the summer as I could find. For the sauce, I did mayonnaise mixed with my homemade and homegrown tomato and chili jam and topped it all off with some of my homegrown pickled jalapenos, which are so delicious. If there's one thing you grow in your garden next year, please make it jalapenos. They are so easy to grow outside in the UK. The next day, I made some soup with the pumpkins I had grown last year. This one is called a curry squash and it's particularly good for cooking with because it's got a low water content, although it does make it ridiculously hard to cut up. It's been sitting on my shelf for around 5 months now and it smells delicious, almost like a passion fruit. I add carrots, curry powder and coconut milk and serve it with a paratha. I literally cried my eyes out because I had one bowl of it and then had to throw the whole thing away because I smashed the glass jar I was storing it in. And to add insult to injury, another one of my squashes got knocked off the shelf and split all the way up the middle, which meant I had to use it straight away. Instead of soup, I used up my elephant garlic, which is truly elephantine in size. Just look how big one clove is. I unfroze 3 jars of my crushed tomatoes I preserved back in the summer. I was totally making up the recipe as I was going along, but it turned out really nice. I'd call it a sausage and butternut squash casserole topped with halloumi. The next day, I was in full prep mode and didn't leave my kitchen for about 8 hours straight. I always use my food processor to help me chop up large amounts of vegetables and it just saves so much time. I was making a massive batch of meat sauce with a load of hidden vegetables, which I would normally use for bolognese, but this case I was using it for lasagna. The base vegetables are your classic carrots, onions and celery, but I will shove anything in here and it just works. Any vegetables looking a bit sad at the back of the fridge, any leftover wine, red or white, parmesan rinds are a must, please trust me on this, and a few of my homemade beef stock cubes, or you could use Worcester sauce or some bovril. All the herbs, I did some smoked paprika, oregano, and I would normally do basil, but I don't have any growing right now. This is the best meat sauce you will ever make and tastes even better knowing that you've used up a load of things that would probably have just been thrown away. I made enough for 2 trays, but we were only having it for dinner for one night because I wanted to freeze most of it. There is a reason why lasagna is one of the most popular ready meals, and it's because it freezes and reheats really well. On nights when I'm not there, my partner can just pop it in the microwave, maybe boil some frozen peas, and then they have a nutritious meal. My New Year's resolution is to eat more baked potatoes, and I've discovered that you can make them in the air fryer. They took about 40 minutes at 160 and came out perfect. Earlier that day, I'd roasted some plain chicken breast to make some lunches for my husband, and when you cover it with a lid of tin foil, it keeps all the juice and steam inside, and then you can use that later on for chicken stock. I do not add anything to my chicken when I cook it like this. It is plain chicken breast, and then you can add seasonings and flavorings later. I chopped it up and made it into a chicken and sweet corn mayonnaise, which I used for his sandwiches and then for our jacket potatoes. I'm a tiny bit obsessed with covering everything in chili oil at the moment, and I served it on the side with some pickled beetroot with homegrown beetroot from the garden. If you've made it this far, thanks so much for watching. Like and follow for more.